Hello, savvy entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here, and welcome to another episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. This is episode number 322, which means you can find all the relevant links and show notes for today's episode over at tashcorbin.com/322. In this episode of the podcast, I'm going to tell you how to launch without tech getting in the way. Now, we had a lot of people ask a lot of tech questions when I surveyed my audience about creating and launching courses and memberships. So I want to help you take tech out of the way when it comes to getting your product out to market. Let's dive in. I'm Tash Corbin, and this is the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. So as I said at the start of the episode, I did a survey recently, and over 25% of respondents mentioned technology as one of their biggest challenges when it comes to creating and launching their course or membership. And I am with you. Technology can be a hair-pulling pain in your rear when it comes to getting that product out and inviting people to come and join you. It seems like every time we turn around, there's a new best practice. There's a new fancy app. There's a new portal tool. There's a new something or other that we must have in order to create and launch our course or membership. So first and foremost, I want you to take a breath and breathe a huge sigh of relief, because tech does not need to get in the way of you creating and launching. In fact, in the first time around when you are creating and launching your course, you actually are better off skipping a bunch of the tech headaches. So I'm going to walk you through in 5 easy steps how to make sure that you have the tech that you need, none that you don't, and you can stop that technology getting in the way of you getting your product or service out there. Okay, so number one, I think it's important to look at our mindset here. Do you really need that fancy tech platform and those amazing recorded videos that are edited within an inch of their life? Do you really need that 14 email upsell, downsell, cross-sell sequence? Do you really need all of that tech? Or is it that you feel like the more you look fancy, the more it seems fancy, the more that you put into using those tech tools, the more likely it will be to be successful, the more you'll be able to charge for it, the more people will trust you. Now, this can sometimes come from corporate days or just detoxing some of those masculine beliefs about what it means to be legitimate or what it means for something to be valuable. Because at the end of the day, people are buying your course or membership because they think it's going to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And regardless of whether you get them there with the most fully tech automated system or a bit of extra hand-holding, the ultimate decision maker is not the tech. The decision maker is the outcome. So number one, I think it's important to just check in with the mindset about what tech is actually needed and what you're trying to get tech to do for you. Because another reason why people get themselves all caught up in a messy nest of technology challenges is because they don't want to be confronted by someone saying, oh, I don't think the program's for me this time around, or having to show up and make a sales pitch. And so instead of just having a conversation with the 6 people who are interested, they will instead try and use technology to help them write a 15 email sequence and the world's best sales page, and then pre-record little welcome videos or little objection handling videos, which is the thing that I've seen most recently, right? And all you're trying to do is just avoid the human to human part of making the sale. And in fact, in your first few launches, that human to human connection is critical at telling you, do people want the outcome you are promising? What are their objections or questions? Has your copy and the way that you're pitching it actually reflected the value proposition, and how do you need to pivot and adjust your messaging, your copy, your emails, everything, so that you can make sure it converts really effectively next time you launch as well. So in a lot of cases, people use technology as a way to distance themselves and pre-do everything and automate. But especially in the first few launches, that's actually costing you something. That's costing you feedback, insight, information, and the ability to turn your product into a high conversion one, rather than you're having to resort to all of these thousands of emails because you don't actually know which email got the message across. So number one, mindset. Number two, your first launch is getting proof of concept. And it's not getting proof of concept that people like your technology platform. It's getting proof of concept that people, one, want the thing that you're selling, the outcome that you're selling, not the technology platform, the outcome that you're selling. Two, they're willing to pay for it. And three, they get the outcome by doing the program. So in most cases, your first time around, one, you don't know the exact copy to put into fancy tech sales strategies and fancy tech delivery systems anyway, right? So you don't know what to put in there. And secondly, you need to be connected in the delivery of the first round of your course or the first few months of your membership to ensure that people are engaged with it, they're getting the results, they actually understand what it is that you're presenting. So knowing that your first time around is getting proof of concept anyway, and the one thing you don't need proof of concept for is the technology platform, that gives you a giant permission slip to not worry about fancy tech stuff the first time around in particular. So when it comes to creating and launching courses and memberships, my recommendation is actually do a bit of manual work around first. Do a bit of personal connection first. Now, for most people, the reason why they want to create a course or a membership is because they want to be more leveraged in their time. They don't want to necessarily have to handhold everyone along the way. I mean, I'm like such big into the connection part, and I have group mentoring and Facebook communities in my course because I actually don't want to disconnect in the delivery part of the process. But I know for a lot of people, they want it to eventually be passive, or they want it to eventually be super leveraged, and they don't necessarily want to be putting a lot of time into it. But if I told you putting a bit of extra time into it the first couple of times round will take you from a 1% conversion rate in your launches to a 10% conversion rate in your launches, do you think that would be worth putting that time and energy in the first couple of times around? Absolutely. So that is my third tip for you, is that there's nothing wrong with doing it manually the first time around. I remember how much time and energy and money I put into all of the tech automations when I first created my first course, which was the Takeoff program. And that technology became obsolete 12 months later, and I ended up moving over to a teaching platform called Thinkific, which I'm not on anymore, right? But also, I spent so much time doing all of that. I made 13 sales. So to save myself the effort of seeing a sale come in and then sending a welcome email 13 times, I paid $2,500 for a VA to do all the setup for me. And I paid for a WordPress website plugin, and I paid for Zapier to zap the cart to the platform plugin, right? All of those things I could have solved with one manual email per customer. Now, it might have meant that if someone joined at 2:00 in the morning, they wouldn't have got their welcome email until I got back to my desk at 7:30 the next day. But the odds of that happening are very slim. Like, most people who join are going to be in a time zone that's like works for you. And even if it does happen, like, what's a few hours wait, right? You could even say on the sales page where they make their payment, you could even just say, once you join, I will personally send you a welcome note. It may take a few hours to arrive because I'm sending it manually. Like, you could even let people know that on the sales page if you needed to. But ultimately, isn't it lovely and personable and connecting to send a personal outreach welcome email anyway. I don't know. The thing for me with the whole manual workaround is that for most people, for their first few launches, you're not going to have thousands and thousands of people joining. And so therefore, it often will take less work to do a manual something for each paying student than it does to set it up automated in the first place. And you can always automate it later. So I am a big fan of just do it manually in the first place. I had a client that I was working with a few months ago, and we ended up creating her entire course inside a Facebook community. And when people purchased, by her sending them an invoice manually and then they paid the invoice, she sent them a beautiful welcome note with a link to the group and welcomed them in. And it was such a beautiful and delicious high-touch event. And when she did her feedback at the end of the course, 3 out of her 13 paying clients said, I loved how you welcome us in. I love that I felt like you really guided me in and made it easy for me to find my way around in the first place. Like, amazing, right? And you would sometimes make the assumption that like having to wait for my welcome email, having to wait to be welcomed into the group, like would make people frustrated. But for most people, especially if it means they're getting more access to you, they feel like they're being treated like a customer, not a number. It's actually like a lovely surprise. It's a lovely touch. So there is nothing wrong with doing things manually your first time around. Now, I also just quickly want to say on this doing things manually, a lot of people say, well, I'm charging so much for it. Now I really should have it more automated for people. My highest ticket group program is the Heart Centre Business Accelerator. And as of recording this, the Heart Centre Business Accelerator is 19,995 Australian dollars to join. It does not have a sales page. It does not have an automated checkout. It does not have an automated welcome sequence. It is high touch VIP. If people want to join the accelerator, if you want to, you can reach out, right? If people want to join the accelerator, they have to email the support desk to get the prospectus because it's a full prospectus. It's a 1-year VIP mastermind experience. And it's critical that people have a deep understanding of what's included, who it's for, who it's not for, what the investment is, what specifically is covered throughout the year. So it's got a full prospectus. So the way that people learn about the accelerator and join it is they request this prospectus. If they like what they read, they book a call with me to discuss it. And if on the call we both think it's a good fit, I send them their invoice either to pay up front or for their first payment. And then once their payment comes through, we manually tag them, send them a welcome email, send them their links because they get VIP one-to-one sessions with me as part of the accelerator, and invite them into the Facebook group. When they join the Facebook group, we welcome them in one by one and we do a welcome post. Say, please introduce yourself to the other accelerator members. It is completely manual and it's my highest ticket product. And the high touch version of selling a group program feels more luxurious to me. And it feels like people are being nurtured. I'm not interested at this point in time in having a random sales page on the internet for the accelerator because it's very important to me that I curate the group of people who join. And the people who join appreciate that I've created that curated experience for them, that it's not just going to be joined by some random person on the internet. They appreciate that I'm taking into consideration the group dynamics, the level of business that people are up to, the types of business that people have before saying, look, I think this is a great fit. Let's get you into the accelerator. So as I said, if you're interested in finding out more about the accelerator, just send an email through to support@tashcorbin.com. We will send you through the prospectus, but it doesn't have to be automated. Manual can be amazing, and manual is a great way to get started the first time around. Right. Number 4, because remember, we're clearing tech problems out of your way. Number 4, pick easy and go for minimum viable product. Just pick easy. You only need your technology to allow four things. Four things. One, a way to promote the thing. So you can promote with a Google Doc. You could promote with a sales page. You could promote with a prospectus. You could promote with just sales emails. You could promote with social media posts, right? You don't need to have a fully integrated shopping cart and sales page and all that sort of thing. So one, a way to promote it. Number two, a way for people to pay you. A way for people to pay you. So at the time when they make the decision, oh yeah, I want this, how do they pay you for it? So that could be sending them an invoice. That could be a paypal.me link. That could be an integrated payment button. That could be a full-on shopping cart with automations. But choose the easiest for you and go for minimum viable product, especially first time round. Third, you need a way to welcome and onboard those people. So again, it could be manually sending them a welcome and how to onboard. It could be having an automated email that welcomes them. It could be a thank you page that when they finally process their payment, it gives them the next instructions. It could be a 12 email sequence over 12 weeks. It can be as simple as you like. It can be as complex and involved as you like. But if you choose easy and go for minimum viable product the first time around, you'll stop yourself from letting the technology get completely in the way and tie you up in knots. And then finally, you need a way to deliver. You need a way to deliver this program. You could deliver by doing live Zoom classes. You could deliver by pre-recording your videos and hosting them secretly on YouTube and embedding them onto a secret page on your website. You could deliver by sending an email every week. You know, the first few online courses that I did were delivered on email. And there are a few people who have amazing email courses still to this day. So the course is actually delivered direct to your inbox. And it's like literally like a link to a video in the inbox, or it's a PDF that comes and delivered to your inbox. And that's like your next module of your course. So you can deliver in a Facebook group. Facebook groups are amazing these days because in a Facebook group, you can have guides where you can have like little modules. You can do Facebook Lives as your calls, or you can do Zoom calls and then have the recording go into the Facebook group. As I said before, I've had clients where everything is done in the Facebook group. And it's so simple for them. Their clients are hanging out on Facebook most days anyway, so it gets the most engagement from their clients. And it's a really beautiful way for them to deliver. You can also deliver through an integrated portal where everyone has their own password and they log in, and then there's an accompanying app that goes with it all. But let's just prove that people are going to pay for the outcome that you deliver, and that the way that you thought you could deliver that outcome with a group is actually real and that it actually works. So number 4 is pick easy and go for your minimum viable product. You just need a way to promote, a way for people to pay you, a way to welcome and onboard, and a way to deliver. And then number 5, use your first launch funds to hire someone to do the tech for you from there. Use your first launch funds to buy a platform like Kartra. I'll put my affiliate link to Kartra here, or Kajabi or Teachable or Thinkific or whatever the platform is that you want to use, but fund it through the program. Do your first launch, use that to fund hiring a person and buying the technology platform that you need. How amazing is that? But if you just go with the easiest thing first, you will maximize the chances that you actually finish it and get it out there. And the sooner you launch, the sooner you can start snowballing that into your big second launch, into your even bigger third launch. You know, I was on a retreat once, and I have used this statement thousands of times since, where we were in a little circle, we're talking about, a person was thinking about creating sort of product and then this kind of course. And she said, I don't know if it'll make more money if I do it this way, or I don't know if it'll make more money if I do it that way. And someone else said, you know what? I think it would make more money if it existed. And that is exactly the case for your course or your membership. It will make far more money if you just got it out there and did a bare bones technology version of it for the first launch. Give it a trial, practice getting on message, practice launching it, practice encouraging people to join, practice welcoming people in, practice your delivery, right? You could spend the next 6 months faffing about trying to create the perfect technology solution, waiting until you can afford to hire someone to do the technology for you. Or you could spend the next 6 months launching your thing twice, if not 3 times, and getting a bunch of people in. And those people are paying you to improve it time after time. Those people are paying you to learn how to deliver it. Those people are paying you to build the thing. So you are able to grow and snowball that program or that membership way faster if you get it out into the world sooner, and stop letting technology hold you back. Okay. Now I want to let you know, if you are listening to this when it's released, I am about to run a live workshop called the Quick Course Launch. In this live workshop, I'm going to walk through how you can build and sell your first or next course or membership in 2 weeks. It is the Quick Course Launch, and this workshop is totally free for you to come and attend. If you come to the show notes of today's episode at tashcorbin.com/322, I'll have the link in the show notes so you can come and register for that workshop, and let's build your quick course launch and get it out in front of your audience sooner rather than later. Now, don't panic if it's well beyond the live workshop. If you come to the show notes and the workshop has already been completed, I'll make sure I put a little link in there for you to catch the replay so that you can check out the quick course launch and get yourself moving sooner rather than later. Wipe the technology woes out of the way, go for your minimum viable product, and remember, this is a snowball that you're building. No great course was built on theory. No great tech decision was made on theory. So let's start with something simple and effective that allows you to get it out straight away, and then you can improve and add more maturity, more technology, and more complexity along the way as you see fit. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Heart Centered Business Podcast. Until next time, I cannot wait to see you shine. And don't forget to go and check out those show notes at tashcorbin.com/322. Bye for now. Would you like more tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your heart-centered business? Head to tashcorbin.com today.